Good morning, bunnies. Doing the Shade Slayer. So I rough cut the felt. It's a very soft felt. I do like this as a background. And I just kind of put it on here. I'm not really even pinning it. I'm just placing it. And then I'm going to sew all the way around at 1/4 inch. And then instead of a label, I'm going to use my stamp so that I can label that. And then this will come up when we are sewing it in its final form. So here we go. So the 2 was just to let me know that this was the second part of the video, but you know, I'm still new at doing these. So I'm going to just sew around. I'm starting at the opening part. And I'm still starting at 1/4 inch, and I'm going to go around. Now that opening part is where you're going to be sliding your glasses in. So it's a great place to start, mainly because we're also then going to do 1/8 inch so that we can top that off. Have that nice top stitch there. I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually hitting that 1/4 inch. This is officially number 50. So I still care very much, but not enough to worry about 1/32 of an inch. So here I am going back over that opening at 1/8. And then we're going to pull that off. I pull the threads through so that they don't get tangled and I can still pull them through later. Here I'm pulling these back. Again, I'm not going to, I did backstitch, so I'm not going to actually do anything like tie them. I'm just going to cinch them off with my cigarette lighter, or not cigarette lighter, candle lighter. There we go. Ugh, no smoking here. So now you'll need a place to cut it. So that's my little dollar mat. And right here, I'm letting you know the 3 places that you're going to want to use a rotary blade to cut it so that it's nice and even. I'm cutting off a tiny bit here and there, but I use the edge of the blade to line up with my vinyl and then just cut through it. I swear I didn't even get close to my thumb, but it does look like it there. Like here, I could tell it was a smidge off, so I'm just kind of aligning it nicely and then cutting it. This is where your felt is going to show, so this is why you're doing it with the rotary blade, so everything's nice and even. Then I'm going to take my scissors. They're not the ones I wanted, which is why in a moment you're going to see me put them down and kind of look around, mainly because of right here. You want a really good sharp scissor, 1 so that you don't have extra fuzzies, and 2 so you can get into that corner and not create extra fuzzies. So I'm just going to kind of cut right into that corner. The reason I'm cutting down this much, where I'm sliding it in between the vinyl, like under the vinyl, is because I want to take away some of the bulk that you'll get when you're sewing this together. You're not going to see that inside at all when you sew it. So going close to your 1/4 inch stitches is fine. On that corner, I'm making sure that I'm not cutting too far off because that's where you're going to see. Again, these weren't the scissors I usually use, but I'm like, this is number 50 and I really want to get this video done. So I am going to make sure that it gets done. I'm just kind of looking at the corners. As you can see, I did cut off enough. You can see the vinyl now exposed. And I'm clipping more in the corners again. Yeah, you don't want to clip up there. Any place that you know you're going to be exposing that felt, you want to make sure it's not clipped too close. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away. And now I'm going to pull out my stamp. This is a 3D printed stamp. If I can feel confident enough to get these to work really well every time, then I'm going to be looking to making a video about maybe selling them. But that's down the line. I have a couple of other projects in the line first. However, so this is a pigment dye stamp pad. Picking up a lot of ink. This is me here making sure it's in the right direction. That was an aggressive directional check, just so you know. And I'm pressing down, making sure not to press down in the one spot that I already have a bruise. And here we are. No sew needed. It is right there. I'm going to put up the ink because I already have some on my hands at this point. And a lot of ink pads, you want to store them upside down. Just a quick tip. But there it is. There's my cute little bunny. And you want to let this dry, by the way. There's a little bit of ghosting on the other side, but it's just bunny face, so I think it's okay. So I am going to line up the corners first. Sometimes when you trim, it kind of, when you cut it out, sometimes it's not absolutely perfect. And with a raw edge project, absolutely perfect isn't a bad idea, well, it's a little difficult to actually cut everything absolutely perfect. But this way you can just trim it down. You can usually make up for it when you sew them together the wrong sides, but I'm doing a raw edge on this. So this is my trick for helping me not to have looping. And I know it's upside down. I was trying to give y'all the best position I could. So I'm starting at that top corner. I'm just making sure everything is situated. What I will do is lock in my stitch, and then I will take this piece of vinyl that I have, and I'm just going to help my foot to be level, because it doesn't like when you don't have the foot all the way on something as much, especially with industrial machines. Actually, I think all machines. My domestic used to do this problem. So I'm just kind of running it along next to it. You do want to be careful that you don't accidentally sew over it. So take your time. This is sped up a little bit so that I could fit the video, but also, sometimes it's not so much fun to just watch the same sewing. Making sure that my placement is good, because you really want that 1/8 of an inch. That's what's going to really seal this in, and it will close up any the seams that you took out the felt, which is another reason to take the felt out, because then you don't see it. When I discover, especially this side where it's folded, if you decide to sew down the folded edge, which I think gives it a nice flatter feel, and I like that a lot. If you're making these for yourself and you have like huge sunglasses, like I do have a pair that's like ginormous, but you don't want to make the large, you just like the medium size, then not sewing down that folded edge will give you a more puffy, like 3D shape. But when you sew down that side edge, it can do a weird looping. So having that extra piece of stability for your foot helps a lot. So I'm coming back around here, and I'm just going to go right up to that edge. And then we're going to turn, and I am once more going to backstitch. Anytime I'm doing construction that needs to stay, I do backstitching. It's also why I didn't start right on that pocket opening. You can. That would give it a little bit of extra stability, but I've been using mine for quite a while, and it's doing fine. This is me. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, this is me. That's so dumb. Y'all always get the weirdest voiceovers. I'm sorry. I'm just using my thread zapper again to clear out those threads, being very careful near the felt. And now I've got my super sharp scissors, and you see me just kind of running my finger along the lines, as much as you can, because this angle did not do well, and I'm so sorry. These are for sale, so I want to make sure that I choose the product over the angle sometimes. Anyways, I'm running my finger over it to kind of see how level everything is. Do they feel even? If they don't feel even, then I'm seeing where I need to trim it down. And again, sharp scissors for this. I would use a rotary cutter, but most of the time what I'm doing is just scissors are good. But thanks!